Welcome to Tech Blueprint, a window that lets you know the latest technology news in the world. Recently, the game between China and the United States has intensified on the stage of technological competition, especially in the field of chips, the heart of technology. The United States spared no effort to strangle China's development throat, but it did not expect that this series of sanctions would become a catalyst for China's independent innovation. It sounds like a reversal of a strategic game, and yes, this is reality. Looking back, in 2018, the United States' move against ZTE stunned the world. Can you imagine it? At the order of the U.S. Department of Commerce, ZTE was fined and could not buy any parts from American companies for 7 years. The situation of eating up the mountain appeared instantly. The mobile phone production line stopped, the market share collapsed, and the originally profitable ZTE actually lost up to 6.9 billion yuan that year. It really makes people sigh that they shot themselves in the foot. ZTE's lesson made China realize the risks of relying on foreign companies. However, the subsequent Huawei incident can be said to be a greater shock. In 2019, the United States included Huawei in the Entity List, which directly hit all of Huawei's supply chains. Qualcomm, Intel, and Google all had to stop supplying, and even Taiwan's TSMC was affected. Just think about it, the leader of global 5G technology was suddenly forced to cut off resources, and Huawei's market share dropped from the second in the world to almost disappearing. The United States' intention is very clear: to suppress the development of China's high-tech through this means of technological blockade. But the United States did not expect that in the face of this technological war, China's resilience and determination were simply unexpected. ZTE's painful lesson sounded the alarm for China, and it cannot sit and wait for death, but must be self-reliant. So, the policy was introduced, and a number of policies to promote the high-quality development of the integrated circuit industry and the software industry in the new era were like a shot in the arm, and hundreds of billions of investments poured into the chip industry like a tide. The goal is not only self-sufficiency, but also to make China no longer at a disadvantage in the field of high technology. Driven by the policy, SMIC's technological breakthroughs have attracted attention. In 2020, they successfully mass-produced 14-nanometer chips, igniting the hope of the entire industry. Huawei's HiSilicon also showed its unique skills and launched the 5-nanometer Kirin 9000 series. Although mass production is difficult, it must be said that China's research and development capabilities are moving forward at an unprecedented speed. This series of progress is not only a response to resisting sanctions, but also a reflection of China's confidence in science and technology. Looking at the market share, from 16% in 2020 to nearly 30% in 2023, how much hard work is behind this? The data will not lie. The rise of domestic chips shows that China's continuous efforts and persistence in this field are changing the global technology supply chain. The US sanctions are like a double-edged sword. While stinging China, they also unknowingly weakened themselves. Giants such as Qualcomm and Intel, which once enjoyed the Chinese market, have embarrassing revenue data in 2023. Qualcomm's revenue in China has dropped sharply from $14 billion in 2020 to $10 billion. For example, Intel is also facing a severe reduction in its share. The United States thought that it could reduce its dependence on its chips by sanctioning China, but it put itself in trouble. While its revenues fell sharply, the chaotic global supply chain made these companies suffer. At this moment, China's technology industry is no longer a marginal role dependent on the United States, but a strong one that is actively standing up. Faced with the previous bottleneck crisis, China chose to fight back. The goal of future self-sufficiency rate has sprinted from the original 16% to 70%, and the pace of technological independence is surging like a tide. The gorgeous return of Huawei Mate 60 Pro is a sign of the rise of China's chip industry. Although domestic mobile phones have not reached the world's top, this is no longer the most important thing. Bravely facing challenges and achieving self-transcendence is the most proud achievement. This technological war is bound to tear the global chip industry in half. The United States thought it could be complacent by squeezing China, but it completely underestimated the resilience and creativity of the Chinese people. Wanting to restrain China has become the driving force for China's rise. Technology cannot be locked, and the power of free innovation is like a torrent, unstoppable. Let's wait and see. The future technology track will become more eye-catching because of this friction. The US sanctions are just a stumbling block, but China's rise is accelerating. For China, the future road is definitely not easy, but the direction is clear. That is to grit your teeth and unswervingly follow the path of independent innovation, and strive to achieve true independent control in key core technologies. This means that we will have to continue to invest in research and development in the future, especially for hard bones such as lithography machines, EDA, and high-end materials. We must have the determination to sit on the bench for 10 years, be willing to invest, and endure loneliness. This game around a small chip is both an unprecedented huge pressure and a historic opportunity and turning point for China's technology industry. It is forcing us to reshape the pattern of the global semiconductor industry, and it will also stimulate greater innovation vitality in China's technology industry. This chess game is far from over, and we don't know how long it will last, but one thing is certain: taking your destiny into your own hands is the only way out.